everybody. Welcome. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen and Justin Botrell from Bowline Sport Fishing with you today. And Marley is here today too. Check him out right there on my shoulder. Again, kind of weird to see Justin not out fishing, but I don't think Justin wants to be out there today. It looks a little gnarly, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, this entire week, except for Thursday and Friday, it's going to be pretty bad out there. So if any of you are planning to go out, I would highly recommend you rethink that.
There's Captain Al, fresh out of the shipyard.
What's up, fellas? Everybody?
Hello, hello.
We're talking about this beautiful weather. How beautiful it is.
Yeah, Ron called me yesterday and he said all the apps look greasy glassy, and he got out there and it was like 6 seconds and really bad yesterday.
Yeah, it was horrible, and there was no squid. He had great expectations after watching Justin catch sea bass 2 days in a row, but he got slapped right back into reality.
Yeah, well, when you get that far, my experience, when it gets hot on the beach, you get that evection fog, and when it's foggy, it never shows what it's supposed to be on the apps offshore, you know?
Thursday looks phenomenal, Lisa. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be less than 10 knots all day. It looks like, but as Ron and Al and Justin and I have, weather is weather. The only good part about it, Lisa, we're going to be on a great big giant boat, 65 feet long, and we're going to be fishing on the coast. So we're not going to have to go across that channel. And yeah, it's just going to be a phenomenal day. As we go along today on the show, gang, I want anybody and everybody that has an Android that they don't use anymore, something newer in the last 4 or 5 years, if you have an Android, you're not using it, please bring it on Don Hansen Day. Justin and I want to try something different. We want to see if we can get some higher quality videos going out on the live show. And if you got any old phones, we may be able to use them. Because of the way that it hooks up to Starlink, that's why the quality is not that perfect with Justin. And Captain Al Clowers is about to get a Starlink Mini. I'm looking into it big time right now. So oh no, Dave, your trip got canceled today? Does that mean you're going to join us? That would be so cool. If you joined us on Don Hansen Day, that would be incredible.
Dave Barron's going. He has no choice. No.
I wonder why they canceled.
It's going to be a little gnarly, Al. You might want to look at Windy.
Yeah, with a broken boat, I haven't been checking that out.
Right. Yeah, Captain Al got lucky. You know all that work that they did on Captain Al's boat in the middle of the winter? Guess what? They put a faulty shaft in, and Captain Al snapped the shaft. How cool is that?
That's bitching.
Isn't that cool, Captain Al? You snapped a shaft, stainless steel. How big around's that shaft? 1.5 inches, 2 inch?
1.5 inches.
Yeah, snapped it. I got a cool picture I'll try to put up. That's pretty exciting, gang.
Yeah, it'll make your blood pressure go up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that'll make your blood pressure go skyrocketing. But the good thing, there was only 2 good things that could happen. You snapped a shaft or the linkage went out on the transmission, but didn't lose the transmission, which would have been, that would have probably been it. That would have been it for Al. That you would have just pretty much started pouring dirt on top of him. You could pretty much call it done. If that tranny goes out, that's about a $30,000 fix, gang. If your tranny goes out on your boat, because you guys don't understand. If you look at Captain Al's boat, to get the tranny out, you got to jack the motor up. You got to do all kinds of fancy stuff. You got to have a big crane. It's astronomical. We know there's a bunch of people on here that can get it out way better. We're just silly boat captains. We don't really know what we're doing, but I'm just telling you what it takes to get the tranny out of there. So Al dodged a great bullet, and he had a couple of his insurance guys come down and look, and it sounds like it's a warranty thing because that shaft doesn't even have 500 hours on it, and it's already snapped. So
Right.
Right. It looks like it started breaking slowly if you look at the shaft picture, and then it like cracked about halfway through, and then when it fell off, it snapped the rest of the half, is what they're telling me. But so
And
it started cracking within maybe 100 hours. What's up with that? So I just got done talking to everybody, so I have a pretty big team on this situation right now. The boat's getting fixed no matter what right now. Then it's got to sit in the water for 24 hours. Then they got to go check the alignment. And then the insurance company is going to either battle the people that did the work for me or tell me it's not covered. Everything's up in the air right now. So, yeah. Last week was a scramble. I couldn't come on there with Justin because I got a phone call. Hey, come and get your props. It was a Friday. I had to hurry up and get the props, take them to the machine shop. Yeah. The good thing is, first time ever, I pulled up to Safe Harbor, Shelter Island, and the slings were laying on the top of the water, and the guys were standing up there. And I'm like, am I first? Yes, sir. They got me right out at 7:15. So,
thank God, huh?
I didn't contact the insurance until like 10 o'clock today, but the surveyor that the insurance use is Todd and Associates, which if you're looking for a good surveyor in San Diego, he's the man. He's been doing it for 45 years. But so I went up to his office. He was in there. I'm like, hey, I need some help. Whether I got to pay you or whatever, can you come down to Riviera and give me your opinion, at least off the books? Absolutely. So he went down there, and then I called the insurance company and talked to my guy that did the work last time. Super nice guy. He said, I'll call Todd right now and get all the skinny. So everything's
There it is, right there, guys. That's what Al's shaft
That
looks
is
like. Look at that.
100% a faulty shaft right there.
That looks like someone took a fillet knife and filleted it.
Yeah, was it welded at all right there?
No. That's right. That's about a half an inch above the keyway.
Yeah.
The top of the keyway.
Yeah, that had to have been a faulty shaft, maybe from the it's probably from the manufacturer. I mean, not all of them are going to be perfect, right? Every now and then you can get a faulty one. I think, unfortunately, you got the faulty one.
Yeah, they were saying it could be a little burr right there at the beginning of the keyway, and with the pressure on there, it starts cracking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the new one doesn't have a burr on it. I went and inspected that bad boy.
Yeah, that should be 100% warranted.
It made a loud noise.
It did.
You know what? I've seen this a couple of times. One time it happened like with Al. Another time that propeller went right through the hull. If you look at, there's only two things that could happen. It goes spinning off going down, or it goes spinning off going up. Al got lucky it didn't go up, because when it went up on the yacht I was running, it made a hell of a hole.
Yeah, I was spinning that thing at 2,500 RPMs when it happened.
That would have been
And you know
terrible.
what happens when there's a hole in your hull?
Well, the first thing I did,
it gets a little bit of water inside.
Right. The first thing I did is I backed her down and jumped down below looking for water.
Yeah.
Everything
Crazy,
happens so
right?
fast, dude. It's ridiculous.
That's scary.
Yeah, I think, like Dave Burris said, over tightened prop nut could have been a bunch of different things. Like Just said, could have been a crack. They could have dropped that shaft carrying. Nobody really knows. There's so many different scenarios. Without having the propeller and the broken piece, everything else is just speculation.
Yeah, the good thing
left.
is, once I made that call to the insurance, not really to open a claim, but to alert them of the situation, they got my back so far, and not they're going to pay for it, but they're pulling or making calls and making sure everybody's double and triple and double checking the job they did before, like alignment and all this other stuff. So now I just kind of sit back and let them all work it out for right now.
Exactly. Let's talk about fun
That's
stuff.
fun.
Justin, you had a phenomenal Thursday and Friday, didn't you? Or Friday and
Yes.
Saturday.
We caught
That was pretty fun to watch.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's pretty cool catching sea bass. I wish I was close to Catalina, boy.
I know. Like I try to tell everybody, I think the best area for fishing in California is up near me. That's just my opinion. Because we catch stuff all year long, different things. I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Sea bass fishing. It's a lot of wading. It's a big wading game. Like Rick Maurer was out there with me right next to me on Saturday. And we just sat there and like Dave says, let the boat rot. And sit there and sit there and sit there.
Like catfishing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Or trout fishing.
Yeah.
You only have to make one cast about every 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest problem I see everybody do is they don't move. I mean, they move too much. And the other thing is when you're fishing in that depth of water that Justin was fishing in, the hardest thing for me to do is watch all those people just sit there and not hold the rod in their hand. It's really important to keep casting that bait out, letting it sink through that water column and bringing it back in and throwing it back out. Now, when you're in deeper water, that dropper loop thing's cool, but when you're fishing where Justin was fishing, the dropper loop's almost breaking the surface of the water. That's how shallow he was fishing. So, you guys, it's really important to be throwing that bait around and casting it around. I was watching on Saturday, and I love your client, but it was hard to watch. Could have been a spectacularly wide open sea bass bite. And the only time that anyone would get bit is when Justin would cast the line out while he was holding the rod. He'd get bit, and then he'd look around and nobody wanted to grab it. Everybody wanted to fish. Most of the guys were standing with their arms crossed or sitting down. In the very beginning, when you caught your first, everyone was fishing. And then you catch a sea bass, and then everyone's like, okay, we're done. And they all sit down. It doesn't work like now in the deep water, 120 feet of water, when they're on the squid nest, you can get away with that. But when you're in the shallow water, gang, it's really important to be moving that bait around, having it moving around.
Yeah, when
all
you're
the time.
shallow water fishing sea bass, it really takes a skill to catch them. You have to be on your game. So it's a different kind of fishery, all right? It's not like bluefin fishing at all.
No, it actually takes talent.
Yeah. But yeah, Joshua said fishing game was out in force on Saturday. Yes, they were, but they didn't stop me. I think it was the same guys. I don't know. I think they just blew by Rick and me. So they just stopped a couple boats a little bit south of me, and then they went around Rick and I, and they just went up and went to other people. So
where the meat was, they went up to where the meat was. There was some meat.
It's really funny because on what was it, Friday or whatever I went out, or Thursday or whatever day that was I went out. No one was out there. No, I'm sorry. There was one skiff, a local guy that was out there, and then me, and there's no one else, nowhere. And then after I went live and we got a couple sea bass, I think we caught 10 sea bass that day, but we lost 3 big ones. We caught 2 big ones. We landed some 26 and 27 and a half inchers. Saturday came, and I'll tell you what, everybody and their mom was out there. Everybody. But what's really weird is they weren't where I was. And I put it out on the game plan where I was. So it was really weird because everybody huddled up around a sport boat. And if you notice what that sport boat caught, calico bass and sheephead. So I don't know. It's like there was one sport boat out there. I think it was the Dreamer. I don't know what the sport boat was. There's one sport boat just north of me, and literally 15, 20 boats surrounded him. It was really funny.
Because you guys don't understand. Well, Rick, you have game, but it's like we were just saying, Justin and I were talking about this. It's about moving that bait around. It's about not setting the rod in the rod holder. When you're in that shallow water, it's about casting. Like Bill says, when you're surf fishing, it's fan casting. When you're fishing that sea bass in that shallow water like that, you can't put the rod in the rod holder. You can't. If you're going to you might as well just go do something else. Because in that shallow water, if you're just now he did catch one at the very end, but I think the bait was just sinking or just starting to come up off the bottom or something. He got that fish with the rod.
We just threw that out. We just threw that line out, and that was on I think that was on the dropper loop. No, that was on a sliding sinker. So that was on the sliding sinker one, and that one we just threw out and just stuck it in a rod holder because I had no deckhand that day, and I had to attend to six people, and that was really tough, but I did it. So,
and only one of them wanted to fish. The rest of them, what's happening, Madden? How you feeling, champ?
You don't know? All right, bye.
See you later, Madden. Take care.
We threw that rod out, and we didn't use a heavy sinker either. We're in shallow water, by the way, everybody. Like right up on the beach. Threw the line out, and that one was sinking slowly. I put it in a rod holder and went to attend to other rods. And as I did that, I looked over, and that rod was bent. So it's all. And the other thing is so when you're fishing sea bass and you're on squid beds, normally what you'll do is you'll drive by and you can anchor on the squid bed, and the sea bass kind of stick in that area. In the shallow waters, they don't stick right there. They're kind of running up and down the beach. So when you get bit, you want to make sure that all your lines are ready to go and they're right in that spot. And because they're not swimming just by one, they're swimming in a school. It could be 5 fish, it could be 100 fish. They're swimming in a school. So you want to be on it, and every one of them will bite. It's really cool because when sea bass come by like that, if one bites, they all bite. Everyone will. So if you have a bait near them, they're going to bite it. That's why it's a sit and wait game. You have to sit there and wait for them to cruise by. And then also, if you're chumming the water, if you're throwing a whole bunch of big squid out there, you're just feeding the sea bass. And if they get full, they're not going to bite the one with the hook in it. So if you start chunking up the squid in little strips and chunks and throw those out there and get the whole life going on behind your boat, you have a good chance of that sea bass coming by sooner than later and sticking around a little bit longer because they're curious of what's going on, like a yellowtail. So that's all.
And then Captain Al down there at the Coronados, it looks like that's getting ready to start. I've seen a lot of videos from the San Diego of their sonar and of their up and down. It looks like there's some schools down there at the island, so maybe you're going to get this shaft thing fixed just in time.
There's a lot of yellowtail down there. I sent you that one picture when I was down there last. Big mass of fish in the middle grounds, but I guess the water got a little dirty in there yesterday, so they're around pukey. But there's quite a few yellowtail down there, and then yesterday they ran into those big old 14-pound bonita too. So that's fun to do, and the rockcod fishing is insane down there. So, but yeah, my boat will be fixed by tomorrow night.
Woohoo! Yeah, Steve Duncan went down there and caught some of those big bonita. He tried to catch a yellowtail trolling around, and then he went out there and caught those big bonita. That was kind of cool to see. I like those big bonita. They fight hard, and if you take care of them and get them in that deckhand kill bag, oh my gosh, those things are phenomenal.
They're so good, sashimi and poke. It's so good.
And I like to bake them and make tuna fish sandwiches. It's a super white meat tuna. It's not like that gross dirt clod bluefin.
They're fun. Go sniper around out there, whatever you want to catch them on. once you get them to the boat.
Yeah.
But the ones at the islands are coming on Rapalas, and they're trolling them. But you get a school of boat, it's pretty fun, man.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll eat the paint off the bottom of the boat. It's just like albacore fishing. They come right to
Oh,
the
yeah.
corner, eat every bait. They pull super hard. They kick a lot of people's butts. But yeah, Mike Lewis, we're super excited about Thursday. Like I was telling everybody right when we started, now we got 70 some people watching. If any of you guys are coming on Don Hansen Day on Thursday on the Clemente with us, if you have an old Android phone, 4 or 5 years old, and you're not using it anymore, Justin and I would love to get a hold of it. We want to do it. We want to test something out. If you're just gonna got them in your closet collecting dust, bring them on the boat. We'd love to. We just want to try something. If it works, great. We'll give you some cash for it. If it doesn't work, great. We won't give you some cash for it. We don't want to go out and buy one though, and we'd rather just use a used one. We just want to check something out. We just want to see how it works. But Don Hansen Day is going to be absolutely incredible. That's Thursday. We're going out 3/4 day fishing out of the Dana Orr Sport Fishing. The really unique thing about this day, besides we're celebrating my father's life, my sister and my brother have put together one of the most phenomenal packages to help celebrate my father's life, where you're going to get 50% off 3/4 day or half day pre-bought tickets. So you can buy up to 10 tickets for half price. That's an incredible value, especially if you're planning on going fishing this year. That is just an absolutely incredible value. You get to save. I can't even remember the number of tickets Donna sold last year. She was flabbergasted by the amount of people that came out and took advantage of it. So, up to 50% off gift certificates for future trips and 25% off all merchandise inside the store. If you haven't been to Dana Orr Sport Fishing, my sister has put together a phenomenal store inside. Tons of apparel, tons of cool stuff. Koozies, hats, shirts, sweatshirts, just tons of Dana Orr Sport Fishing apparel. And then you're going to save 25% on all that and 50% off on future trips, fishing or whale watching. And we whale watch out of Dana Orr Sport Fishing year round. We got the blue whales in the summertime. We got the gray whales and the humpbacks in the wintertime. We got millions of dolphins that loved Dana Point. And my sister got Dana Point. What are they? Tribute is known as a landmark in the United States of America as the whale watch capital of the world, Dana Point Harbor, the whale watch capital of the world. And you can thank Donna and my father and my brother for that. They went out and worked hard to get that, and that's what they're known as now, trademark as the whale watch capital of the world, which is pretty incredible feat. So yeah, we're super excited about Thursday, gang. I can't wait for everybody. I had a nice conversation with the captain of the boat. He's a good guy. His name's Chad. And I told him we don't really care about fish. We just want to have a good time. So you can avoid the fish as much as you want. And I told him that you guys are all into tipping. You'll tip more if we don't catch anything. So on he's on tap for that too. So we won't let him down. And then we got special guests joining us. Like Justin said, no matter what, Dave Farron's joining us. We got Brian from Promar's joining us, guys and gals. And then John Bretza, the president of product development for Okuma, is joining us. And then Alan, the president of Okuma, is joining us. Wayne Coda is joining us. And Daniel from ReelQuick is joining us. It's going to be incredible. And we're going to start out in the morning. Hopefully, it won't be too windy. We can get out there and do some rockfish fishing. We're going to be none of that 900,000 foot water stuff. We're going to be fishing like 250 to 300 foot of water down off of the Box Canyon area. Do that for a little while. Then we'll slide into the beach and poke around, see if we can catch halibut, maybe some of those elusive sand bass, the ones that are extinct, maybe some calico bass, something like that. We're just going to go out and have a good time, do the best Chad will do the very best he can, like he always does. And we may catch some fish, we may not. But yes, we're very, very excited about the day. And I know you and Jamie are excited. Mike's going to be sleeping next to Jamie. He's going to get off work and jump in the car, and Jamie's going to drive to Dana War Sport Fishing. And we still got, just like today, think about this, gang. We've been doing this show at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for 5 years now. And Al was here on time. Justin was here on time. Don't know where Pablo is. And that's kind of the bet for the Don Hansen day. Well, what time will Pablo show up? Will we have to come back from the bait barge to pick him up? That's the under-over is. What time will he be there, Al?
I don't know. I can barely keep track of my own self, but I guarantee you I'm super OCD about being on time, whatever I do.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Last year, we were so worried about being on time, and Jeanette and David were too, that we all went and slept at Dana Point at the Marina Inn there in the harbor, just so we wouldn't be bothered by that drive. Hey, are you going to join us?
Here, what's up?
Chad, are you going to join us? Are you going to make the trip on Thursday, 6 o'clock, 3/4 day on the Clemente? I hope so. You know that you're invited still. I hope to see you on Thursday morning, Don Hansen Day. It'll be awesome. And good job taking care of the wounded warriors. That was phenomenal. I saw what Wayne posted. I saw what you posted. Good job. Yeah, Wayne said he's got a brand new box of hooks. So that'll be good, Tim Ogilvy, because Wayne lost his box of hooks in the bilge on the
It'll be really funny if he loses them again.
Hey, that wasn't just a box. That was a plano stacked full. Thousands of hooks.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. There was, he had like a little mini tackle store in that box. And gang, if water touches your hooks, you might as well just throw them away. They're rusted. They're over. It's done. All right. Chad's going to be there, gang. Brian's going to be there. Gang, it's going to be an incredible day to celebrate the life of my father. I'm super excited. And those of you that have to do that work thing, we're going to get in around 4 o'clock on the Clemente, and then we're all going to John's Fish Market, and we're going to have a nice meal there, and then everybody's just going to boogie from there. Nothing formal. You don't have to dress up. We'll all be in board shorts and flip-flops, sweatshirts and stuff like that. But my sister puts on a nice little spread there to celebrate my father in Don Hansen Square. That's between Dana War Sport Fishing and the John's Fish Market. There's a little plaque there and a bunch of flowers for my father. And it's just an incredible time. She usually brings in somebody to play some music. It's going to be a really good time if you want to join us, if you can't make the trip. And the trip's sold out. We got our 20 people, and then we have our guest celebrities that are going to appear. And Brian will be there from Promar, so I'm sure he'll have a few things to try out on the boat. Chad will have those hookup baits there. You can see how they work in action. They're game changer, just like the rock cod squirts are. And Daniel from ReelQuick will have the ReelQuick fishing system. You can check those out with the Okuma reels on it. John and Alan are bringing either it's a rod or it's a reel for the raffle. Tut and Larry and Mike are coming, and they're giving away a 3-day trip to the biggest fish on the boat. We're going to have so much cool stuff going on.
And only Rylan will be there.
And Deckhand Rylan will be hanging out. Yeah, tell him. Rylan's supposed to be in school that day, and Justin asked Amanda, I wouldn't say told her because we don't want you to get in trouble, asked her if it'd be okay if Rylan went with us. And what did she say?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, really? She's all, yeah, he went last year. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's going to be awesome.
I want to answer a couple things really quick. So, Brent, these are questions that were done way back when, or a little while ago. So, Brent, yes, you can find squid nests on your fathometer, your fish finder. You can find them on there. It's pretty easy once you know what you're looking at. And as far as sonar is different. That's the one that does like a 360 beam. That's what Al has on his boat. the other one is Rick Maurer. So you said you were in a hole, you couldn't get away from the blue perch. We had the same thing. So what I do, everyone does their own thing. What I do is I stop chumming squid strips and squid chunks, and I try to throw my bait further away from the blue perch, because they'll line up on the back of your boat. And if you just throw it out another like 40 feet, you'll get away from those blue perch right there. But yeah, they could be a big nuisance. But when you know there's blue perch, there's also going to be sargo. There's also going to be yellowfin croaker. And there's going to be sheephead. There's white sea bass. So it's just about getting your bait in front of the white sea bass. So you just have to wait it out. The big thing is patience when you're fishing where we were, Rick. Yeah, that's really it.
And those blue perch, I've never caught white sea bass without having all the blue perch around, Rick, to be perfectly honest with you. When you got all that action going on behind the boat, like Justin was saying, they're a very curious fish. There's a good chance you're going to throw 30 baits out there and you're going to catch 29 blue perch, and that next bait's going to be a yellowtail or a white sea bass. That's why I said don't put the rod in the rod holder. How many times did we see Justin wind? Because Justin was by himself. There's no way around it. He was doing everything he could, but nobody was helping him. Every time he would wind up those rods that were in the rod holders, they were coming up fishing with a hook.
Or with a squid with no head.
We call that fishing Biden style. You're fishing on credit. It's okay. Don't worry. Your kids will pay for
Rylan
it.
taller than Pablo now? Probably.
Yeah. Last year was the hoot. And you know what, gang? This year is going to be a hoot too. And we're on a bigger boat. And just to let everybody know, the Clemente, the really cool thing about my brother and my sister letting us do the trip on the Clemente this year, that was my father's queen of the fleet for a very, very long time until he built the Dana Pride. The Clemente was on every shirt, every brochure, everything. The Clemente was the queen of the fleet. In 1964, my father built the Clemente in front of the Huntington Beach power plant. And he was so proud of the boat that I think it was a month and a half after they launched the boat, they took it with an old Decca radar, which if you look it up, you probably can't even find, but you'll find an old Decca, DECCA radar and a compass, and they went to the Cortez Bank in 1964 on the Clemente, and it goes 9 knots, gang, and they did it with that compass and that radar. No GPSs back then, nothing. It was all dead reckoning and laying out the chart and seeing. They could barely make out the Cortez or the San Clemente Island, the top of the island. The radar was 40 miles back then, and that's how far away the Cortez Bank is from San Clemente Island. And they did it. It's a hell of a story. We'll be talking about it on the trip, but it's just insane. That boat's insane. I worked on that boat with my father. He was the captain at the time. We had some of the most phenomenal father-son fights you've ever seen in your life in front of 60 people. It was quite incredible. So it's going to be a fun-filled day. I just want to let you all know we can't do this show without Promar. Without Promar's support, gang, none of this is possible. They're a huge supporter of Your Saltwater Guide, Captain Al, Captain Justin, Captain Pablo, myself. And they're going to be on the trip. Listen, if you get a pic, there's a pretty good chance one of the guys or gals that are on the trip are going to get their picture taken by me and Brian. And if you got a rock cod squirt hanging out of the rockfish you catch his mouth, and we pick your picture, you're going to win that $200 worth of products from Promar. I threw that banner up a second ago. There it is again. You got a hashtag Promar25. And you got to hashtag Your Saltwater Guide, and you got to put it on any social media platform. We see all platforms. Elliot and myself, we're active on every single thing you can think of. If you think of a platform You'll be blown away when you get over there and type in Your Saltwater Guide and go, they're on here too. We're on everything. If you don't find us, call us. There's a platform out there we don't know about. We'll get on it. I promise. But you want to check that out. Promar's going to have plenty of stuff to try out. Justin, Pablo, Al will be having their products with them, whatever they want to have you guys fish with, because we break the groups into teams. And the sponsors will be on teams. Everybody on the boat will be on a team. And Justin, Pablo, Al will be fishing against each other. Tut, Larry, and Mike donated a 2.5 day trip. They're going to give away the biggest fish. Oh, it's just going to be an absolute incredible time out on the water. We're going to get tons of great content, tons of great pictures. Everybody's going to have a phenomenal time, I promise you. We might even catch a fish, Al. You never know.
Maybe.
All you got to do is catch the big one. You're good.
And the mostest. Didn't we have a mostest too?
Yeah.
Last year we had a big one and the most.
And then Wayne brings that little mini rod. Whoever catches the biggest fish on the mini rod. There's so much cool stuff going on. It's just fun all day. Just fun. It's kind of sad when it's over, but then we go up and eat killer food at John's.
So that being said, those of you that are going to be there on Thursday, here's some tackle recommendations that I'm going to recommend. I'm not the captain of the boat, so it's going to be up to the captain on what we fish, but this is what I would have if I was you. Weights. You need a whole bunch of weights, not 1 million pounds of it. But if we're going to be fishing in that 300 feet of water, I would have 12 ounce, maybe 4 12-ounce weights, 4 10-ounce weights, and 4 8-ounce weights. Now, when we go into the shallower water, if we go to shallow water, who knows what we're going to do, right? Only the captain knows. So, or Dave knows what we're going to do exactly. So we go into the shallow water, you're going to want some of the smaller weights for dropper loops, and that would be a 6 ounce, 4 ounce, and a 2 ounce, depending on what depth of water we go into. Then you're going to need hooks. Now, do we know what kind of bait there is at the bait barge right now or on Thursday? So that being said, what you can do is you can get hooks equivalent for sardines, hooks equivalent for anchovies. So if you have those two readily available, you're going to be golden. The other thing is you're going to want some sliding sinkers. So sliding sinkers or the egg sinkers, you're going to get 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, and 1/2 ounce sliding sinkers. You can get a little bit bigger if you want, but that's what I would have in my tackle. The biggest thing of all is going to be those squid squirts. If you want to catch a whole bunch of different kinds of rockfish, big ones, small ones, all of them, even lingcod, get those squid squirts from Promar. And if you use code YSWG or YSWG22, you're going to get 15% off. If you need them for Thursday and you order them right now, they're not going to ship to you on time. So everyone get a pen and paper that's going to be ordering some stuff, because you're also going to need some fishing line. The GT4 fluorocarbon is a key thing as well. So when we're fishing bass and everything, 15 pound, 20 pound, and 25 pound. Also, I'd pick up maybe a 40 and a 50 pound in case you want to drop down a live bait to try to get a lingcod. What you're going to do is you're going to call Brian at Promar, and I'm going to give you his phone number that you can call or text him, and he'll bring it on the boat that day. His phone number is area code 562-568-6241. So get your orders in. Just call Brian at that phone number and let him know, hey, I'm going to be on a boat on Thursday. Use code YSWG. Get the 15% off and to bring you whatever you're ordering. But I would highly recommend the squid squirts, ordering those. I would get both the pink ones and the white ones. To me, they both work the exact same. Get the squid squirts, maybe get at least 4 or 5 or 10 of them. Because if you break them off, what are you going to do if you only have one? You're going to look around. I'm not bringing any tackle. I'm bringing pliers, and that's it. And then myself and my fishing license. But
that's a good way to break it down, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a pair of pliers myself.
Yeah. Last year, I brought a little tackle thing, and I went through almost all of it, and I was like, damn, now I got to buy all this tackle again. So I'm on, no, not this year. So Get the squid squirts and also get that GT4 fluorocarbon. 15-pound, 20-pound, 25-pound, and either a 40 or a 50. That's what I would highly recommend everyone get.
And what I would suggest, like Justin said, call Justin after the show, and he'll give you Brian. We're not going to put Brian's number out here on the show because
everyone can have it. This number everyone can have.
This number everyone could have, but if you're coming with us on Don Hansen Day, I wouldn't order. I would call Brian, let him throw it in his backpack to bring it on the boat for you, and you can pay for it now, but you got to let him know so he's got it on the boat for you. And then there's going to be two really good deckhands, and then Chad. Everybody will be very well taken care of, but yeah, Justin, Al, Pablo, and myself. I'm not bringing pliers. Are you kidding me? You guys let the crew work. Let them do their job.
He's all, don't order it. People order hoop nets. He brings hoop nets on the boat. Fishing games stop us. I'm like, what are you guys doing? We don't order it.
Yeah, don't order any hoop nets. That's a good one, Brian.
Hey, since Chad from Hookup Baits is coming, whoever is into that spinning rod hookup bait fishing, make sure you bring a medium heavy 7-foot spinning rod with like 40-pound test braid.
Yeah, and if you do, that's a great thing, Al, because if you do have a spinning rod, you're not going to get much from me and Al on how to use it. Maybe a little bit from Justin, but Chad's going to be there, and the guy's a wizard with the spinning rod. You know, you can't. I don't even know how to hold the thing. I've tried it before. It hurts my arm. It's holding it the wrong way. But Chad is a wizard with it. So if you have a spinning rod, you're trying to figure this out, Al couldn't have summed it up any better. This is the place you want to be.
Yeah, well, those things, everything matches together. And with fishing the hookup baits, spinning rods work really good because your bait falls a lot freer than. But if you had a little Okuma 5 or 15 or whatever they are, the small ones will work good too because that spool's so small it just free spools like a champ. So either one of those is great.
Yeah, Tim Ogilvy, you guys can bring anything. Lisa, you make something to eat. Anybody that has something, Darren, you bring your dip. The galley is humongous on the boat. The galley seats 30 people, no problem. It's an incredible boat. It was the queen of the fleet forever till my father built the Dana Pride. So the galley is humongous. If you got something you want to bring for food, something you want to share with everybody, there's tons of room on the boat, places to set, plenty of room. It's a humongous galley. So yeah, bring some cool stuff to eat, drink, and have fun. Listen, gang, something I got to point out though, this is not a drinking alcohol trip. I don't like that. It's not my thing. I don't like you hanging on me, telling me how much you love me. I really hate that. So like I told Chad, don't even stock beer because I'm not into that. When I'm going fishing, I'm going fishing. I don't want to see you guys getting sloppy on the boat. I don't want you embarrassing yourself, and I sure as hell don't want you embarrassing
People have to drive home afterwards,
gang.
So.
Yeah, and we all got to drive home. It's not a drinking trip. If you guys want to go on a drinking thing, like I used to tell my clients all the time, charter a bar. It's incredible. If you charter the bar and you just sit there and drink all day, it's the greatest thing in the world. But I know you all love me. I already know that. So I don't need you hanging on me. Something about alcohol too, Al. When they drink, they don't think you can hear them unless they're touching you.
Huh?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Gang, I hear you just fine. You don't have to touch me. I can hear you fine.
My last trip, it was all about getting hammered and trying to smoke weed on my boat. I was pissed.
Yeah, and you were in Mexico. That's really brilliant.
And then I go, all right, get ready, you guys, because this is a big link. You're going to get pulled down from a big lingcod. Every time they got a good one on, they farmed it.
Oh, good. Mike's going to bring
a couple beers is cool,
that's
but not 50 or 18 pack a piece,
Yeah. Yeah, you want to have a beer on the way home? That's great. After we're done for the day. That's great. Rylan can have a couple beers on the way back. Rylan can hang out and drink with you guys on
Oh
the
yeah,
way back,
definitely.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
wanted to mention another thing. If you bring silver or chrome plated hooks, we're gonna make fun of you. Another thing is seriously, we are really gonna make fun of you. I promise. You'll be the talk of the whole trip. And
We're going to give them to
Yeah.
Pablo's team.
so another thing is you don't have to remember it's only a 3/4 day trip. You don't have to bring 100 fishing rods. I know everyone wants to bring 6 or 10 rods. You really just need 2 rods. One of them light line, one of them heavier line. That's all you really need. One of them for rockfish, one of them for shallow water fishing. So like a 15 to 25 pound setup, and then a 20 to 40 pound setup is all you need out there. So.
And remember, Daniel's bringing a handful of the ReelQuick systems on there too, and he's got the Dave Hansen ones with the Tesoro 5s on them. They'll be perfect for fishing on the beach for halibut and bass. Even fishing rockfish, they'll be fine. It's just there's gonna be so much cool stuff to do, gang. Don't bring a ton of crap though that you're gonna be worried about, and then when you get in, you gotta drag all that stuff up to your car and then go up to Don Hansen Day. Just kind of go as light as you possibly can. I know it's cool that you own 52 rods and you want to show them all to Justin and Al, but I guarantee it's not going to change how they feel about it.
We'll say, good job.
Hey,
Congratulations.
I was just looking at buoy weather up there. It looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's less than 10 knots
3 to
all
4
day,
knots
right?
in the morning, smooth seas, and the afternoon is 6 knots. 14 seconds and 13 seconds.
Matt Ryan, you can spoon with me.
I know. I owe you a shirt, Tim. I just don't have what size you need. I'm never going to get that out of my head either. I need to get shirts. I've owed him since last year. I just don't have his size. Damn. I know.
Terrible. Tim Ogilvy, doesn't he wear the same size Riley?
No, he wears the same size I wear.
What size is that?
Oh, okay.
Extra large?
Yeah. Maybe I have one in my closet I haven't worn yet. Let me check.
You got to pay extra for the one you worn already.
No,
right?
I'm giving it to him.
Pre-worn shirt autograph. Yeah. So, what else you got, Al? What do you think?
I think that there's a heck of a lot of good fishing going on right now.
I know there is. And tomorrow's going to...
The bay is...
Tomorrow we got Al's buddy on the show. We got Roy Rose joining us with Michael Folks tomorrow, talking about the history of sport fishing. Roy and Michael have some phenomenal stories, long range back in the day on the Royal Polaris, now on the Royal Star. Tomorrow's going to be a great show. Make sure you all tune in for that. You know Roy Rose always brings the energy, and him and Michael have a ton of great stories to tell tomorrow. It's going to be so fun.
Cool. I can tell you one thing. San Diego Bay is so ripe right now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Tim has 2XL.
The Corvina was showing up last night. I went down to the boat right at dark, and it was high tide, and there was bait flickering around, a few boils, and I had the spook with me. Third cast, it got a nice big old Corvina. I didn't take a picture of it, but yeah, the bay is biting big time. The kelp, the calico, for the guys that got the little boats that can fish the stringers off Point Loma for calicos, winding around like an SD minnow right down the alleyways as fast as you can wind it. A couple buddies of mine were out there the other day, and they smashed them out there on that all day. Didn't matter what tide cycle it was, which is hard to believe. But the calico fishing down the alleyways is really good. I mean, there's bonita outside. There's a bunch of stuff going on at the islands. If you guys want to go lake fishing with me, I'll show you all about the bass fishery. The San Diego City lakes are on fire. So there's a lot of fishing going on. And it's really hard to believe I'm just sitting here going fun fishing by myself. So it's hard to believe that right now.
And I trademarked Your Saltwater Guide this year. And what Al and I are getting ready to do is we're going to trademark Your Freshwater
Right.
Guide. It's going to happen. When we were in Iowa, because I just got back from Iowa, I was there with Kelly, and her son were like, "You need to trademark Your Freshwater Guide." And we looked it up, Al. No one
Really?
has it. Nobody has it. We need to get that domain name. Well, now
I
probably
got it
everybody's
now,
gonna have it.
so now you got to buy it from me.
There you go.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
Your
the
Freshwater
bass
Guide.
fishing's been
Captain Al
been pretty insane. You know, I think the moon, it's either full tonight or last night. I think it was last night. But at El Capitan, I was out there on Saturday afternoon, and all of a sudden the whole lake decided to spawn, and there was fish everywhere on the bank. It was crazy. I've never seen it like that before. There was one area where I counted 16. Yeah, just swimming around or on beds. It was great. It was crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hi, Renee. How you doing? Hello. We see your comment.
Your lithium water guide. Perfect. Yeah, Renee. Hello. John Stanley. There could very easily, back in the day when I used to run down Dana Point, many times we go out there to find that, to go rock fishing and throw a couple feathers out the back of the boat because the Clemente full speed downhill, wind blowing on the back, does 9 knots full speed, baby. So probably be doing 8.5, 9 knots. Perfect to throw some feathers out behind the boat. If we get stopped on those bonita, yeah, we'll fish for them.
Yeah, they're heading up that way. They're off of yesterday they were off Torrey Pines.
Yeah, so the last time I was out in Dana Point, they had taken down all the fences. So the fish can pretty much swim from Cabo all the way up to Alaska now. There's no more fence. There used to be fences, I guess, because everyone's always out there. Are the bonita there? Well, I guess there was some fences before I came around, but all the fences are gone. So those bonita could swim right up into Dana Point. Torrey Pines, what is that? 2 flicks of a bonita's tail, and they're in Monterey. So it's very easily can be done. Throw a couple feathers out behind the boat while we're dragging down the coast to go rockfish fishing. But there's Roy with Royale. They're going to be on the show tomorrow. It's going to be so cool, gang. Wait, you won't even believe the energy you're going to feel from Roy when he's with Michael Folks and they're talking about all the old things that those two guys did and how many different things Roy put together and came to be the way Roy fished long range for years. We're going to get a lot of great stories. We've had Roy on the show a few times now, and he's getting very, very comfortable telling stories. So I think tomorrow you guys are in store for a phenomenal time listening to Captain Roy Rose and Michael Folks talking the good old days, which are now.
Oh, Martin Jordan, we can't see your comments come up on here. I can see them on my phone, but not up on here. I forgot to tell you about that before. Martin Jordan, we can't see him for some reason on Facebook. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you, Dave, and now I'm going to tell everybody. So on Saturday when I was at Catalina, there, and we were on the front side. You remember where I told you I was on the front side, Dave? And we were anchored up right there.
Yeah.
There was millions and millions upon millions of barracuda flipping, jumping everywhere. Remember how I told you, hey, there's something going on over here. I saw a bunch of bait or whatever. Right after that, the whole, as far as you can see, ocean lit up. Barracuda jumping all over the place. We threw little irons out, and we're catching them on the iron. It was really cool. Really freaking cool. Millions of barracuda.
That would be fun too, right, Al?
Yeah. Make sure whoever's going on that trip, put some metal in your tackle box. Some snipers and maybe a yo-yo jig or two. You never know what's going to happen.
They'll have some live deception
Right.
flash lures,
Yep.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing that you can get. So if you're gonna make an order with Promar, get some of the deception flash lures, the live deception lures. Get the smaller ones. I don't know what grams or sizes they are, but get smaller ones. Or you can also use those Icara jigs. Icara jigs will work really freaking good.
Right.
So make sure you get those as well. I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah.
Better get
I
a bunch
know.
of stuff. And the QR code's right there on the screen, gang, if you want to go over there and look around and figure out what we're talking about. And then Justin's got that phone number for you. You just call up Brian. He'll bring them with you.
Oh, Lisa, did I send Dave the photo? No, I didn't. I'll send it to him right now. I forgot to do a lot of things. I always forget.
Yeah, you do. I have a young man who's looking for a deckhand job, Justin. He can work Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Possibly Mondays. I'm gonna give him your number and then we'll see. Everybody can work until it's time to work.
Right?
It's pretty amazing. But Al found a guy, got lucky at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival. This young man's gonna work out, maybe.
Yeah, if I can keep him from getting seasick, we'll be okay.
Uh-oh.
He did all right.
Oh.
He did good
Yeah,
until he had to go to the fillet table.
Staring down at the fish while you're
I
driving
heard
home.
this some growling going on down there, and I turned around. He's over there getting rid of some of his food. But just a few times. He I don't know. We'll see what happens, but he's.
Oh my gosh.
And, I mean, it was shitty
Yeah.
weather, but I go, dude, that's just medium weather. I said it gets a lot worse than that.
There's nothing worse than being seasick and then having to
After
work.
listen to me telling him, I don't care if you're sick, get your butt down there.
Oh, it's gnarly.
But he's a great kid, and my old deckhand Ryan's back in town, and I text both those guys. I go, hey, I need your guys' help, dude. I got to get this freaking Riviera out of my slip, and we're double tied with the sailboats in front of us right now. So I'm not calling the towboat. I'm taking it myself. I just need you guys to help me bounce off these boats if I have to. And believe it or not, it was pretty smooth with one motor getting out of there, Dave. I got lucky.
Yeah, you did. You got
With
very
double
lucky.
double
So what did
tied,
that-
I literally, when my swim step clears the finger of my slip by about 2 inches, my anchor's hanging over the little handrail in the sailboat. That's how tight it is.
Yeah, the way they have those sailboats stacked over there, Al,
It's
first
illegal.
of all, it's
Right.
totally illegal. And then second of all, it's like you can't make a mistake. I can't believe you were able
One
to
motor,
pull that
baby,
off.
one motor. I should have videoed it.
And then you got to go out with a guy and do a guide trip the other day on his Riviera. That's exactly like yours. That guy can't talk enough about you.
Yeah, he's a very, very, very nice guy from Yuma, a dentist from Yuma, owns his own little dental shop out there. Very, very nice guy, and he was pretty knowledgeable, and he had a lot of experience, but not with a big old boat like that, you know. But we had the same situation over there with the boat tied off in the wrong spot. So when I went in and out of once it got windy, when I took that boat in and out of the slip, I had to use almost everything I had to get it in and out successfully. And he's like, let me try it. I'm like, okay. So, well,
And he
at
did
first, no, he didn't make it the first time. It got me in a bad spot, but I got out of it and got the boat back in the slip. And then I told him, I go, we call the office and see if you can get that center console moved. It shouldn't be there. So he did, and they came and moved it. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I got all kinds of room now. I said, yeah, but don't think like that. It's still tight. So take your time, do this, do that. And he did it and got it in and out. We did about 4 or 5 approaches in the wind, which his slip is kind of tight too. You got to pull out and then back up the first little alleyway and then turn around and go out. There's no way around around pulling out and going forward because it just doesn't work like that. He's too close to the end finger. You know what I mean? He's only 2 boats away from the end, so that's a big boat. You can't turn it the way you want to go nose out.
Right.
You got to go backwards. But yeah, I showed him how to do it, and he was stoked. Took me to lunch, and we had a great day.
Yeah, he had nothing but good
And
things to say
he
about
took it
you.
out fishing. They left Friday afternoon, and came back Saturday evening. And I haven't heard no war stories or nothing. So he must have been okay.
Yes, so.
So,
Look at that picture,
oh
Justin.
yeah, that was from 2 years
Gang.
ago. No, I'm just, that was a couple days ago.
What I want to tell everybody, though, and Rick Maurer, listen, and those of you that have been trying to catch these, Paul's been fishing pretty much with Justin every Wednesday for 2 years now. Okay? How many of those sea bass has he caught?
2.
Those 2 right there, gang. So if you think you put in your time by going once this year, you're sadly mistaken. They don't call him the gray ghost for nothing, gang. But look at that smile. That's what can happen to you if you have enough patience and time. Paul puts in the time. He definitely
Yeah.
puts in the time. If you don't see Paul fishing with Justin on Wednesday, it's because of the weather. It's Paul's going, and look at, I just want you to see that. I wanted Rick and the other people that have tried to catch these things to understand. They're white sea bass. The worst thing that could happen to you is they bit yesterday. That is the kiss of death. That's why you just have to go and go and go and go and fish. And like Justin said in the beginning of the show, let the boat rot. You got to calm down. If you feel confident, if the wind's not blowing too hard, if the current's flowing, the water looks right, you have the right bait, you need to just set it out and relax. And if you're getting blue perch and calico bass and sargo, the next cast is going to be one of those guys. You just have to have that confidence, and you got to feel confident when you're throwing your bait out. But if you feel like putting the rod in the rod holder and I don't know why I didn't catch any sea bass. I had my rod in the rod. Well, probably you don't have any bait. So that rod's been sitting out there with no bait or a bunch of chewed on bait. You got to fish, and you got to fish hard, and you got to, because it's like in the words of Will Ferrell on Step Brothers, it's a trophy fish.
Oh yeah.
I think white sea bass actually may be the hardest fish to target in California. I think they may
Now, especially daytime white sea bass.
Yeah. I know you can go out there and get limits, and you can go out there and get limits for a couple days in a row, but that third day on, you're not going to catch any. So they're a really hard species to target. And you don't know when they're going to bite. That's the thing. They could bite in the early morning, meaning 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. They could bite at 10 in the morning, noon, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You just don't know. You just have to be there. Yeah. Midnight. Yeah. You just don't know. You just have to sit and wait and hope for the best.
Yeah, especially when you're not fishing a squid nest too, like that. Like you're just fishing a beach like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were right up on the beach, literally right on the beach, where I had to watch out a couple of times because when the waves come, they were no longer swells. We were in the waves, and I had to watch where hopefully the anchor doesn't slip because we're doomed if it did. That would suck.
Yeah, you don't want to have to replace no running gear like I am.
Yeah. Yep. But there was a question on here somewhere. I forgot where it was. Oh, Darren, if you want, I don't know where that video is at. You can send the video to Dave. Do it through WhatsApp though. Of how to properly, or how to not set the hook.
Hey, Captain Al. Chad fished San Vicente yesterday and had
Right.
40 bass.
Told you
Right. There's
I
Matt
told you
again.
I told you
Matt-
the lakes are biting. Whoever don't believe me, there it is right there.
Yeah, dear. You're right. Madden got an allergic reaction yesterday, huh?
To what,
Maybe
lobster?
shrimp, maybe, right?
Cameron.
Yeah. He's got hives all over his body. Poor little dude.
That's
So his brother Rylan gets to take off on Thursday. So I asked him, "You want to stay home today?" And he's all, "Yeah." So yeah, he's staying home today. They're in elementary school, so they'll be all right.
But they won't. They're going to miss out on rainbow
Yeah,
fingerprinting.
right? So yeah, what else we got to talk about here?
Yeah,
I think we're done. That was an hour.
I gotta find out what's going on at the yard.
Yeah, we all got stuff to do, gang. We will see you tomorrow with Captain Roy Rose, Michael Folks, History of Sport Fishing. It's going to be a phenomenal show. Justin, Pablo, and Al and I will all see you guys on Thursday on Don Hansen Day at Dana Point. Don't forget, if you got an old Android phone, please bring it with you on the boat. We're looking for an old Android phone that's going to work to try to do what we're trying to pull off. The only way we're going to know is if you bring it with you. So bring an old Android phone if you have one. We'll check it out. If it's older than 5 years, it's not going to work. Something in the last 5 years if you got one. And don't bring one of those crappy iPhones. iPhones don't work for what we're trying to do. iPhones are great for prying money out of your pocket, but after that,
Or if you run out of fishing weights, you can use them for a fishing weight too.
Yeah, they sink straight down. Perfect. Thank you all very, very much.
All right, everybody. See you later.
See ya. Have a great day. Turn off the news. They're all lying. How about